Hey, so you want to talk about Kevin Hart, right? I'll
Well,
let you lead this one.
well, okay. My whole thing with Kevin Hart, right, when we was talking about topics of Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle, both of them are both successful comedians, right? But they're two different type of comedians. So
Right.
No, we was gonna talk about the special first.
right. But I was gonna get to the whole thing about why nobody would listen to Kevin Hart shit. So I feel like
Oh, so you want to talk about like why nobody watched that shit,
yeah, because
and the
I
ones
think
that did watch it didn't like it?
basically right. So basically,
so
with the people who didn't like Kevin Hart is like a relatable comedian, right? And Dave Chappelle is more of a storyteller comedian, right? Because when Kevin Hart tells jokes, he's telling jokes of like, hey, remember when you was a young father and you did this, and this, or remember when you
I'm
was
gonna
this,
look. I'm gonna keep it
and then
real.
he make a joke.
I don't know where you're going on because I want to go too far from where you're going. But I'm gonna stop you with the whole Kevin Hart being relatable because part of my problem with Kevin Hart is that his shit be fantasy. Like he be talking about fucking a raccoon coming up to his doorstep throwing up gang signs. Like you can't take that shit seriously.
No, it's okay. I feel it's exaggerated, but
But his shit don't just be exact. It just be like, okay, nigga, that ain't. Because it'll go from like, okay, I can see maybe this is a real experience to like, okay, this ain't even exaggerated. That it ain't happened nowhere near that.
right.
know
You
what
talking
I'm
about
saying?
like the whole thing running beside the car, looking at the
Well,
people
no,
and
like,
shit like that.
I could see he used to be believable and he used to be relatable. Because it's like at least with cause you talking about the ostrich story.
Yeah,
With the ostrich story where
yeah.
he talks about his boy threw a pin in the ostrich and they got chased by the ostrich. They got into the car and the ostrich followed beside them. It was like in that situation you could relate to the panic and fear that he had.
Yeah.
Like that's what you could relate to.
Right,
It's like
right.
like because you're thinking like when you say his friend threw a pin at it, you're thinking to yourself like why he throw a pin at it, and then he starts
Basically,
crying
right.
saying why you throw a pin at it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like you can relate to that, but it's like I can't relate to a fucking raccoon throwing up gang signs out my
Well,
because it's like
yeah, I get what you're saying with that, and that's what I was saying about his new special. It's like people were saying something about Kevin Hart shouldn't do comedy anymore, like stand up comedy anymore, because that's his whole thing is trying to be relatable, and he's no longer relatable because he's so rich. And Dave Chappelle, he's a storyteller.
that's what you meant. Now that I agree with.
Yeah.
That I agree with. He
Yeah.
needs to change his style up a little bit.
Right. And Dave Chappelle, he's more of a storyteller, so it don't matter what's the fuck going on in his life, as long as he could talk about the world and see it from his perspective, and it's better, and I think it's better for also Dave Chappelle not to be too in it, because usually when you're in it, you can't see things for like 2020, like they always say 2020 hindsight is basically better, right? So Dave Chappelle not being in it and actually saying, okay, this remember when I was like his special that we all saw, it was like, I remember when I was that guy getting bullied and XYZ happened. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. So that with him, no matter how rich, no matter how successful he is, he's always going to be relevant. As in, like how you say with Kevin Hart, the whole fantasy thing or being relatable, he probably need to stop doing stand-up comedy. Like not to shit on him because I still like him, but as far as the majority of his fans, he probably just need to do movies because movies will be more acted out on his whole world that he's creating in his comics. That's basically what I'm saying.
Well, my thing is with this situation you're saying we're talking about both of these guys. They both have the same problem, but Dave Chappelle handles the problem better, which is their audience aren't comedy fans. Like both of them have that same fucking problem. So it's hard for Kevin Hart to swallow the pill that he's not funny anymore when he goes in front of an audience and any audience he's in front of laughs at everything he says. But they're laughing. I saw the same thing happen to Dane Cook. But they got to that level where it's like they're not comedy fans, so they don't get comedy. Like I remember I had this theory for a long time. Like back when the Chappelle show was airing like the first time when it was like coming on Comedy Central. I remember I had a conversation with this white dude that I had met at work, and we met by talking about Dave Chappelle in the Chappelle show, and he had talked about one of the skits that he thought was like hilarious, but he said something to let me know he didn't get the joke. So I'm like, well, what the fuck is he laughing at? Because he doesn't understand what the sketch is about. And it's like, but he's just laughing. And then when you watch his new special, you'll see it's times where they like trying to clap and trying to laugh at Dave
And
Chappelle.
they're missing the point.
Dude, that
And they're
shit
missing the
pisses
point.
me
But
off. Ooh.
Chappelle had like he's so grounded in like knowing what he's trying to say and what he's trying to convey that he's aware of like, okay, those are fake laughs, those are fake. Where Kevin Hart will just take it and run with it like, okay, they laughing. But like they don't even know why they came to laugh and they don't even know why they're laughing at Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for him to like know that the shit ain't funny. But it's not like the shit ain't funny at all because, like you said, he's a relatable guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when he talked about the fucking group chat, that's why I texted you guys. Got to see at least watch the part about the group chat because that shit was funny as hell. Because that's
true.
relatable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it was no fantasy shit in there. Even if you want to feel like he was making shit up, it was still like that's really
some
like
shit really happened that we even do ourselves, and we're not 40 because he was like over 40.
Yeah, when we were 40. Yeah, he was just like so. Yeah, they both got the same problem with it's handled better on Dave's part because Dave has another thing like he has an understanding of the world. That's why everything. If you watch his special, he takes you from like he says the same thing 4 different ways.
He got the setup.
Yeah,
And he does it repeatedly. He did it in his last 3 specials easily. Same setup, haymaker. Same. So it's like, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, because everybody loves stories. Everybody loves stories.
And he like good at comparing things. Like, okay, this is the same thing as that. Level. I was 17 on the street and I got jacked in fucking 3-car money. That's the same thing as what's happened to me at Comedy Central all these years. Like he can see this is that. He can take 2 things that you think is unrelatable, but it's really the same shit. Because what you guys are going through is just a microcosm of what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? As a fucking millionaire, it's just blowing up because I'm a millionaire. You know what I mean? So
so now I just want to get to the laugh part. Dave Chappelle, that whole thing, none of that's supposed to have been no kind of laughing.
Supposed to be no laughing, no applause, no clapping. I mean, well, yeah, there was supposed to be some clapping and shit, but they clapping at the wrong parts.
The wrong spots, yeah. He definitely, and so, but he didn't. You can see he catches. He was expecting, but he can see it catch itself and still keep going. That shit just boiled my.
Well, it shouldn't though, because like how you say, they are bigger than what they're bigger than their audience, basically what you're saying. So you're going to get some people who like it just because, like, all right, like you watch the Super Bowl, but you don't like football, right?
Right.
Yeah, because there's people that are just gonna go in and like, oh, that was a good game. Like, man, you don't know that.
You didn't see the plays. You
don't understand what you were watching. You're just in the hype. And there's people that, I mean, I've been to comedy shows where it's like, and I mean, low level shit, but it's like even then, you're just excited, like, oh, this is Chappelle, this is somebody. I'm gonna be here, and I'm just gonna like laugh at whatever.
Matter of fact, you told me this a long
time
ago, and it stuck with me because I think that's the most real thing, and that's how I kind of approach my own business and future business when I come up. Like you told me, people call here at Domino's, and they just want pizza. They don't even know what they want. They just know they want pizza, and that stuck with me because that's the realest thing. Because you go to this comedy show, right? All you know is I want to laugh. I don't give a fuck what I laugh about. I just want to laugh, and I think that's what's pretty much going on. Like how things can get on your nerves as a purist of it, right? Like how Joey's a purist of rap. He can't listen to young rap, right? Yeah. But we can listen to young rap because we take it for what it is. But he can't.
No, I can't. I just gotta be in the mood. But you're right. I get what you're saying.
Tolerance is very, very, very.
All these people know is comedy show. Dave Chappelle's big. We can go to this. He's funny. Kevin Hart's funny. I don't care how much it costs. I got the money. So what? Let's go to Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Laugh at everything he said. Oh my gosh, we had a great time.
Yeah, the part that got me when they gave her like a round of applause is when he said, if I came back and did Chappelle's show, I can't even name it Chappelle's show because they own my name. I signed the contract. And they started clapping. What the fuck are you clapping for? He just told y'all he don't even own his name.
He don't own himself, yeah. Basically.
And then he like stopped and then laughed and was like, YouTube gonna catch it. I could tell like he had like a light bulb and I was like, whatever, they're gonna catch it on YouTube. It's
basically what he's saying is I'm gonna give it back to you guys. I'm not gonna be this networking guy because you guys are paying me. So
I need y'all support to get my likeness back. But
that
whole end ball game where he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take it."
That's
because he is bigger than the networks.
Basically, he don't need to. He don't need to be one of those.
And the networks
guys
is full of young. He set that shit up. It was beautiful. That shit was beautiful. But it wasn't.
So do y'all think that shit gonna work?
Hell yeah.
All right, so Dave Chappelle said that everybody should so for those that don't know, Dave Chappelle signed a contract with Comedy Central. From what it sounds like, I'm not sure. It sounded like they paid him a flat fee for season 1 and 2, and then he had to renegotiate for season 3, and that's when he walked away from the $60 million. So he doesn't get anything from it ever since. He hasn't gotten a dime. So anytime they've sold any DVD sales, any type of syndication, he hasn't gotten paid anything. So when it got on Netflix and HBO Max, it's being streamed without his consent, without him getting paid. He talked to Netflix, who he works with. They went ahead and took it down immediately because they understand the value. Like, we don't need the Chappelle show. We have Chappelle. So they understood that. And so he said anybody else that's streaming it, like, just don't watch Chappelle show until they pay me. And so I'm saying,
even with HBO's, he pitched the show to them.
Yeah, that's
before he went to Comedy Central, and they told him straight up, "What do we need you for?"
So did anybody else think about, like, damn, I'm gonna take my Dave Chappelle joints and throw them away?
Hell no.
So I had that for a second, and then I remember Tupac saying, I don't give, when they was crushing his damn CD and shit, I don't care, they had to buy it anyway. And I was like, I don't know, I already bought it now. Fuck.
Yeah, they already got your money.
Yeah, they got me. I was gonna hold on to it.
I don't think it's going to work for the same reason that he had to laugh at the audience during the special. They don't get it. So the people that's going to keep watching, so like maybe like he may have a handful of people that's like us, independent, you know what I'm saying, respect entrepreneurs.
It's going to still be that same handful that understood that he was playing Dead Prez for his entrance. It's going to be that same handful.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't be surprised if it do work, though, because he has enough steam for it to happen. Because it's like, all right, people are seeing like, okay, y'all
he
do
gonna
shady
need some
business.
college kids to do a hashtag for this shit to work.
Yeah, it'd be some shit like that though. But that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he's gonna get paid, but
he could do it.
He's gonna dent the money making that they thought they was gonna make off.
So what exactly don't you guys think is gonna work? Because I'm looking at
people
it.
not watching.
Stronghold them enough to make them get paid.
He needs people to not stream Chappelle show.
I got you.
But they took it off.
Netflix,
but HBO,
but not
still
HBO.
going.
Oh, it's still on HBO.
That's what he was saying. I don't own the likeness of all this Chappelle, and I can't name it Chappelle.
I don't have HBO Max. Like, how people really fuck with it like that?
App. It's
Well,
an
the
app, just
thing
like
is-
Showtime. Just like Showtime.
Yeah,
the thing
but
is, if you subscribe to HBO, the channel, you get HBO Max for free.
Because that's
So,
what it is.
Yeah,
It's the
so
app.
if you got it, if you got it on,
Yeah,
if you got
but-
the
And
cable
most
channel,
of the world is at home right now trying to find something. To look
Because
Yeah.
we're in the whole pandemic.
Yeah, I get that, but you think enough people just like you have to actually stream that show for that to get for them to get that money, right?
That's a high ass
Yeah.
show though, man. Like you got.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
it's like what?
So think about it. Dave Chappelle name is ringing again. It's a bunch of kids that
Basically,
never
yeah.
heard
So let
about
me
him.
go here.
Let me go see the Chappelle.
Let me go
show.
watch Half Baked.
Yeah, and then you go down.
God.
But
Let's
then
be
you go down
real.
this road,
Yeah,
though.
you're gonna go down the road.
I mean, I
yeah.
get what you're saying.
Just like how we did with West Side.
We're gonna go down this road, and then
I
mean,
get
you know,
what you're saying.
Charlie
And West Side
Murphy done
said,
passed away.
"Don't listen to me on
if his
SoundCloud."
Birthday, if Charlie Murphy's birthday or the day he died come by, that's gonna pop up again.
Yep.
and
True.
then that's gonna, it's just, so yeah, he has to make that statement for the kids that's just getting the first whiff of him.
So how does that work with YouTube? Like he has clips on YouTube of like the Chappelle show. Like you can watch like
That's Comedy Central.
That's Comedy Central.
Yeah. That's
So
Comedy
it's
Central.
still like don't stream that either.
yeah, don't
Yeah,
look at that either.
don't stream it. Yeah. They the
don't
bullies.
stream- Yeah, don't stream
Basically.
Chappelle show
at
at
all.
all.
How much we love it. Hey.
Go watch Family Guy.
This cat. So, what I was saying, as far as like, do you not think what don't you think is gonna work is like
I don't think people are gonna. I don't think he can get the people to stop streaming this shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he was saying also about his name and stuff. If he gonna do another show, he can't name it Chappelle Show. So do you think it'll be feasible for him to come up with a streaming service? Have you guys pay? Would you basically what I'm really asking is, would you pay $5 to $6, $7?
He's not
For
gonna
a
do
streaming
that
show.
because then he'd be cutting Netflix nuts.
Would he?
Yeah.
How?
But the thing is, he doesn't need to do that to win this war. Right. All he needs to win this war is for people to stop streaming.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
like, yeah. So what he could do is, like you said, he can keep working with Netflix and do what you're saying, doing like make a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Put it on Netflix.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, and I think this is the reason why I said the whole app thing and like not really cutting the nuts of Netflix, but at the same time being a true partner is if you have your own. Because if you,
but regardless, you're not realizing he don't have that show. So what is he streaming? What are you gonna get?
Even if he makes new
No,
content,
that's what I'm saying. New content.
But still,
I mean, it'll be through Netflix then.
some of the old shit is just classic enough where like I still go back and watch some of the old shit.
Yeah, but
some of those are just classic
but that's what he's saying now.
Right, and that's what he's asking for is the support not to. So I don't think he's gonna win the get paid war. He might get the he might not put a dent in the views, but
I think best case scenario they'll renegotiate the deal.
nah, hell
No, you can't.
No, I'm saying best case scenario.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it'll necessarily happen. I'm just saying it's the best case scenario.
They might give him his name back.
No,
They might let him
why would
get
you?
a piece of
Why
it.
would you give him his name back?
Well,
think about it. If you were bully, right? Like get
Because
your mind,
I mean, come on, we talking almost 20 years though.
yeah, but get your mind. But you're a bully though. This is what I'm trying
Well,
to.
the thing is, nobody knew you were a bully. Now they know you're a bully. So what if that
Right.
shit spirals out? Because like a lot of people have been talking shit about Comedy Central, saying how bad they are.
Right.
So now, like, if Dave Chappelle leads that charge, and people like catch on to it, you're gonna have to get that shit back, so that way you can save your.
Think about it. He
Save
already
face.
he already
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
blacked their eye with the Key and Peele shit.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Dave Chappelle said something about Key and Peele,
that shit went away.
yeah, that shit damn near disappeared.
Yeah, I agree with you on all that. But what I'm saying is, if you are a bully, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand.
All right.
You don't understand that. What you work off of is milk and fear.
So now-
you milk and you.
Okay.
You know what they
put
call
fear
that?
on it.
Business.
But this is what
that's
he's
what he's
getting
trying to
at.
say.
Where Dave Chappelle says it's a bunch of young guys there. It's a lot of guys that stepped into this bully situation that they don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, but if you
And
don't
now
have-
they the higher ups though too now. So
Yeah.
it ain't the same motherfuckers that was there 20 years ago.
but it's still a culture.
But they also got to still build that goddamn company and keep that company afloat for them to keep their jobs
Yeah,
or establish.
and
you know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
you. Yeah, and I get you. And this is
Those guys that made the money off the Dave Chappelle, them motherfuckers gone.
Yeah, you're right. But the thing is, this is the same thing I was telling my boss today. I was like, look, man, it's a culture. Once you go on the other side and you become that B5 paid person, you act like you never was working here. You're like, oh man, I don't get it. All I know is you're not doing your job how you're supposed to do, and you totally forget about when you were that person. So I say all that to say this: those guys who are bullies, they're in positions right now that these young guys, like how Dave Chappelle was talking about, he's preaching to all these young guys. These young guys already signed. You already sold your soul to the devil. You already gave me your name. You gave me your name. So just because this guy, don't listen to him. You know what? If you listen to him, I will destroy you now. You'll never be as big as he is.
You can't
And that's what I'm
necessarily
saying.
say it because you're saying that with the intent that the old is still around.
The old is still around. Dave Chappelle's still around.
No, I'm talking about the old business. The old man is still around.
Yeah, they are
That's
still
what-
around. They're still around. The Gollum is still around. When I say Gollum, I mean the whole
The culture.
the culture is still there. So what that culture
But we
is,
also
if I'm not talented and I feed off the talented, I'm gonna like, oh shit.
I think it's a little different. Everybody too hypersensitive, man.
Man, fuck that. I'll tell you this.
I think
If
it's a lot of
take-
hypersensitivity,
if
and then
I'm-
the simple fact of you're not gonna blame me for some shit that I didn't fucking do. You're gonna call me the bad guy for some shit that I didn't fucking do.
And that's why I think they could renegotiate a
There you
deal.
go.
But why would you if you getting paid?
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
the
If
thing
if
is,
you fuck
let
up their
me-
money enough,
Let
it
me
will
keep
happen.
some money before I lose all the money.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So put it to you like this. This is how the shit could work. As far as like what you're saying, like why would the bully?
Yeah.
Because bullies can only bully for so long, and they can only bully in the right situations. You can only bully the right people and only in the right situations. So what I'm saying is they don't have to give Dave Chappelle his shit back because they like, man, I'm a bully. And the only reason they can bully is because don't nobody know they're a bully. So what's going to happen when the next hot comedian comes up? And you're just like, okay, cool. The same shit we did with Dave Chappelle, we can go bully this motherfucker. And you're going to try and bully, and they're just like, yeah, no, I see how you did Dave Chappelle.
Boom.
Now you got to get Dave Chappelle his shit back so you can look good for the next up-and-comers.
Could even
But
try you.
it only works if people don't watch Chappelle's show, and he shows how much power he really got.
And I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is,
No, I'm just giving you the why. You see,
Oh,
your thing
no, I
was
get-
why
oh,
would
no, I
why would
get
the bully
it. Yeah, oh,
do
yeah.
the right thing? I'm
But-
showing you there's gonna be a reason why the bully would do the
It's
right
like
thing.
putting a
But this
hole in
is-
a ship.
But what I'm saying,
And if
no.
you don't hurry up and goddamn stop
I
a
get it.
motherfucker from shooting at
He
you,
get the damage.
Yeah,
the
I
damage.
get it. Yeah, I get it.
And if you punch a bully in the face-
I'm explaining to you guys that these guys are bullies. They don't
Yeah, but what happens when the bully? What happens when the bully get punched in the face?
He cries because he's not
in
used
front
to
of
it.
everybody. Now,
Yeah,
so
he's
now,
not used to it.
now, tell me this: do he keep bullying?
Yeah, someone else.
Right,
But that's what I'm saying.
He's not.
But this is the thing. Now he can't bully nobody that saw that.
Yeah, no one that saw that. But what I'm saying is,
that's the point.
What? No, I get it. No, I just not.
You just devil advocating.
Huh?
You just being a devil's advocate.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
you really don't get it.
No, I do get it. What I'm saying, I'm trying to say that bullies don't get it. That's my whole thing of saying it. Bullies don't get that.
But that's what I'm saying. When you start affecting their pockets,
yes,
everybody speak money. They do get it.
Right. Yeah, everybody do speak money.
And then when you shut that avenue down for that money, because just like he said,
what am I going to do to go get this money back?
You think?
I'm not saying they're going to. I'm not saying comedy shows are going to do the right thing because by golly, it's the right thing.
That's what I'm basically saying.
Oh no,
I'm saying they're going to do the right thing because they have to in order to keep being a bully.
Yeah, their intention isn't to do the right thing. Their intention is to continue to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in order for them, he can strangle them to the point where in order for them to keep going and exploit the next motherfucker, they're going to have to do right by him so they can show everyone, hey, we're not as bad as Dave Chappelle said we are. We are different. He's right. The bad guy. Yeah. This is and to show we're the new. For example, everybody was talking all that shit about Def Jam till they gave goddamn LL Cool J his masters.
Mm-hmm.
Then they seemed like, oh, they all right. Because they gave a lot of motherfuckers their masters, but they started with LL Cool J.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the same shit. It's like that was the culture for so long. Remember, people stopped fucking with Puffy. Because everybody heard how Puffy was fucking people over. Because he still had the Locks publishing when they was on Rough Riders.
Yeah.
So they started complaining about it. He gave everybody their publishing back. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do that shit not because it's by golly is the right thing to do. Well, because it's like they got to save face in order to keep doing business or else it's going to be over with for them. But it only works if people stop watching Chappelle's show and show that.
It's all strategic. I got what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just don't think they're going to do it. To be honest, that's just me. I don't think they're going to budge.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Somebody like Chappelle could pull it off.
It has to be,
now,
if it's a gigantic movement on his part for him, it has to be a gigantic.
And he has the ability to make that happen. Now, if it's me and my dumb ass is sitting there, like I just signed a deal, and then I'm sitting there making a YouTube video, like, yeah, man, they fucked me on business. How many people even gonna hear that shit? Because I'm so low level. You get what I'm saying? So somebody like that, he's high enough where he could pull it off.
Yeah, and it's like they said on Joe Budden's podcast, some motherfuckers just need to take the money because they ain't got it like that.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, that's enough.
Not all of y'all is talented.
This is true.